What's going on, guys? Dan from Spare Tire Running. This is episode 2 for the Martian Marathon, and this is the training vlog of how it's going, checking in here and there. Continue to work towards running my 4th marathon. Last marathon was last October at the Milwaukee Lakefront. It is late out. It is cold out. We have here in the Detroit area, we've had a good cold storm coming through, wind chill factors down below -20 and so forth, and we're supposed to be getting another 3 to 6 inches coming here in the next day, next to that tomorrow when this is being taped until to the weekend. But I'm still pushing forward and getting my time on the bike and on the treadmill. To me, it's hard for me to run out in this cold. I know I need to get better at running out in this cold and training it better, but that's just something weird going on behind me, but that's something I'm working on, and maybe through time I'll be ready for it, maybe for next winter or the winter after that. But really, my training has been going okay, decently. I've been on top of at least my weekly mileage. I'm pushing myself a little bit. I utilize the Train as One app. It's an AI app that takes how you're doing and what your goals are and creates a plan for you, and that changes depending on what you do and how you do each day. So it's like having a coach in your back pocket. There's a free version. I pay for the kind of the premium version of it to give me a couple extra statistics and kind of mapping things out into the future more. Because of how my life is and how busy I am, I can see and I can try to plan things a little bit better day to day. And then what neat is, if you just skip a day because you're injured or it just doesn't work, it will automatically manipulate the data and change to your thing. You can schedule, which days you want to be your long days, which days you want it to be, you want off. So like on Thursdays, because I play basketball, it will never schedule a run for me on Thursday. Usually when I'm playing soccer on Fridays, it won't schedule me for a run on Fridays. And then you can also tell, like on Tuesdays, that's when I want my speed work to be, or I want my long runs to be on a Monday instead of like a Saturday or a Sunday. So you can set it up and change the options as much as possible to make it to your. I love the science behind it. I don't necessarily understand all the science behind it, and I'm still trying to learn how to use it best. And be able to make sense of everything that I'm looking at. Very scientific. If you're that kind of your brain, you could dive into a lot of metrics on it. The one thing that I'm still working on, you can upload files to it directly and change it and stuff, but that could be a step. That could be another process. Or you can use you're like on the phone, use the app while you're running. Usually when I'm outside, that's what I do. For today's, like when I'm doing these treadmills, I will then go home, download the data off my Sunto watch, and then upload it into the Train as One. So that's kind of what I'm using to train it, and it got me pretty good last race for the time span. Sometimes when you're starting off or taking a long break like I did, it does take a while to kind of get yourself. They do a couple assessments. They have like a 6-minute assessment and a 2-mile assessment that helps navigate your time prediction for your race, but also what your workouts going. Those are the key factors, I think, more than maybe the economy runs that right now. That's kind of what I'm doing, a lot of economy runs. I know I got some progression runs in there, threshold runs, and the more you use it, the better, and the more consistently you use it, the better. And it'll gauge you on your distance, if you're within the range, your time. So I am pushing myself more than what it says right now, just because I don't have as much time as I would like for this Martian Marathon, but I still am following it somewhat. But as I roll into after the Martian Marathon into whatever another marathon in the summer or fall or 50K, which is really what I want to do in the summer or fall, I will be, really using that as a key factor. The other part of my training right now is the grind. And people, a lot of times, that can be a very positive thing. Like, you gotta just grind it out. Even though it hurts, you gotta grind it out. But grind can be also very negative, and it can be something that's on your brains and on your head, and it can drag you down. The grind, the daily grind of life can be very, very, I'm going to lock my doors just in case people think I'm weird, but it can drag you down, and you can suffer from some mental health issues through this grind, the stress, those type of things you gotta watch out for. And as a runner, that can be something that eats us alive, especially not a lot of people talk about as male runners, but B, as a big guy, as somebody that takes more time. When I'm doing training, if I'm going to go for a, in a real marathon block, a lot of times you want to get up to like 20 miles. I'm talking about, it's going to take me 4 to 5 hours at least to get those miles in at the pace I'm running. And being a big guy that's slower, it's tough to get some of those miles in. And that grind on top of trying to your daily life, your relationships with your family, your relationships with your work, it can really get to you. And here in Michigan, if you're in from another place that is cold, the winters suck because of that, because of the lack of sun and the lack of vitamin D. We get depressed a lot quicker. It eats us up a lot quicker. I always talk about this as a principle that I can't wait to the springtime to get more sun, because it seems like this February, end of January, February time frame, that's where we get a lot of our issues, where the relationship communication between parents and teachers and students and teachers break down a lot of time. And I think it deals with the lack of sunlight, the lack of vitamin D, and be able to not be outside running around in the sun. And so you have to really watch that. So I'm trying to manage my grind. We had a snow day today. This morning, the roads were very unsafe, very icy this morning. We probably could have, if it was besides the morning, we probably could have school. But it was actually a nice day for me. I got 18 miles on my bike at 32 degrees in my garage this morning, after having heaters on for probably about 3 to 4 hours, trying to warm it up a little bit. But even though I did some schoolwork, and I was checking emails, and I was completing some projects, I physically did not go into the building and stayed away from the building. And it was something I just needed because of that grind. And then, although Friday we might get a snow day, but I'll be going in on Friday because I do have some other things I have to do, even if we don't have school on Friday. But that's the kind of what is hard is living your life and then finding time. And that's why it's late at night, and I'm about to hit the gym, and I'll go home, and it'll take me a while to wind down and try to get to bed, and then get up early in the morning. But what's your grind? Is it a positive grind? Is it a negative grind? And how can you help somebody else out? So I'm going to throw this out there. If you're having a negative grind and you need somebody to talk to, somebody to bounce some ideas off of, please do not hesitate, because that's a grind I will take. I will take that to help you out. You could hit me up on Instagram, spare_tire_running, or at sparetirerunning.com. You can get all the links there. And I want to help you guys out. So with that, guys, every step counts. I'm going to go in and try to get about 4 miles in later.